Was poppin', was poppin'. Welcome back to another episode of Life According to Rick. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's had an amazing week. Now, this episode right here is a very special one for me. I'm actually releasing it on a very important day, a historical day, memorable day. It's actually my wife and I's fifth year wedding anniversary. Wow. 5 years sounds like a very long time, but technically, me and my wife already hit 10 years together back in March. So this episode is really about the full journey. 10 years together and now 5 years married. When I really sat down and thought about what I wanted to call this episode, the only thing that made sense was imperfectly perfect. Because if I'm being real, our relationship was never about perfection. It's about building something through life, not around it. Relationships and marriage aren't perfect, and they don't survive off love alone. Real marriage is going through the fire together and surviving those trials and tribulations as a unit. When you take those vows, it's no longer just two people doing life separately. You become one, a team, a unit. And that doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you learn how to face everything together. And don't get bamboozled by all these couples on social media with the hashtag relationship goals. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure they go through their fair shares of ups and downs just like the rest of us. The difference is, real relationships ain't built on highlight reels. They built in the moments nobody else sees. And I gotta keep it real. We've had moments that tested us. There were times where I wasn't the best communicator. I was shut down instead of addressing things the way I should have. But through therapy and real work, we've been learning how to communicate better, especially on my part. Now it's about building something stronger: communication, transparency, and rebuilding trust the right way. It's not perfect, but it's progress. My wife really took a gamble on me. She came into my life knowing I was a single father with two kids already. She knew from day one I was a package deal. And honestly, she could have easily looked at that situation and been like, hell nah. But she didn't. She stepped in not just for me, but for my kids too. And over time, she's been a solid bonus mom in every way that matters. And like any blended family situation, there's always going to be obstacles. It's never smooth all the time, but she stayed through it. And over the years, she's shown me and the kids that she's capable of doing this life with us, growing with us, and building with us. And I also want to acknowledge my wife as an amazing mother to our son Harlem. We prayed long and hard for him, especially her, because she didn't have any children of her own. So becoming a mother was a huge life transition for her. And I know balancing motherhood, marriage, and work all at the same time hasn't been easy. It's been a real adjustment. And I think a lot of women can relate to that transition. Going from one version of life into motherhood, trying to find balance while still figuring out who they are in the process. And in her situation, especially, she's had her own hardships and challenges that made that transition even heavier. But through it all, she's shown up for Harlem in a real way, and I don't take that for granted. My wife is my best friend and my partner. And yeah, we get on each other's nerves sometimes, but what couple doesn't? I know there's been times where I've fallen short as a husband, and I'm sure there's moments where we both could have handled things better. But as we continue growing in our marriage, We keep meeting different versions of ourselves, and thankfully, it's been for the better. And I think that's what keeps the longevity going. We genuinely try to bring the best version out of one another. And every year on our anniversary, I always end up singing that Tony Tony Tone joint. Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. Anniversary. Let me stop. That was just a little snippet of the vocals you heard. It's just one of those little traditions that became ours over time. At the end of the day, imperfectly perfect is the only way I can really describe us. We're not a perfect couple. We're just two people who decided to keep growing, keep learning, and keep showing up for each other through life. 10 years together, 5 years married, and we're still building. And I think that's what longevity really is. Not perfection, but consistency, growth, accountability, and choosing each other over and over again. So, yeah, that's episode 27 of Life According to Rick. To anybody out there in relationships, marriages, or just life in general, don't chase perfect, chase real, because real is what lasts. I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me on this journey. And to my butterscotch queen, happy anniversary, baby. I love you. Still your boy.